The Politburo chief of the Palestinian Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas, has censured U.S. President Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem al-Quds as Israel's capital, describing the measure as an attempt by the White House to abolish the Palestinian cause. The recent U.S. decision on al-Quds is part of ongoing efforts to terminate the Palestinian cause within the context of a so-called deal of the century. Ismail Haniyeh said at a meeting with Palestinian tribal leaders in Gaza City on Tuesday. He added that the controversial U.S. move has implications for the reconfiguration of the entire region, which will come at the expense of al-Quds and Palestinian rights. Haniyeh further noted that Hamas had obtained information concerning a U.S. plan to offer Palestinian leaders a state with its capital in Abu Dis village, which lies on the border with Jerusalem al-Quds. The plan involves building a bridge linking Abu Dis to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in East Jerusalem al-Quds with the ostensible aim of ensuring Palestinians access to the mosque, the Hamas leader asserted. Haniyeh added, there is also a talk of dividing the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound into three separate parts. The Hamas chief also criticized some regional Arab states for normalizing diplomatic ties with Israel at the expense of Palestinian people. Haniyeh then slammed the Tel Aviv regime for its settlement expansion activities in the occupied Palestinian territories. On December 6, Trump announced his decision to recognize Jerusalem al-Quds as Israel's capital and relocate the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem al-Quds. Palestinian protesters set a tire on fire during clashes with Israeli forces in Ramallah in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, on December 26, 2017, as protests continue in the region amid anger over the U.S. President Donald Trump's recognition of Jerusalem al-Quds as Israel's capital. Photo by AFP. The dramatic shift in Washington's policy vis-a-vis the city triggered demonstrations in the occupied Palestinian territories, Iran, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Tunisia, Algeria, Iraq, Morocco and other Muslim countries. On December 21, the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly voted in favor of a resolution that calls on the U.S. to withdraw its controversial recognition of Jerusalem al-Quds as Israeli capital. In an attempt to avert the resolution, Trump had warned that, "We're watching," threatening reprisals against countries that back the measure, which earlier faced a U.S. veto at the UN Security Council. The voting results are displayed on the floor of the United Nations General Assembly, in which the United States declaration of Jerusalem al-Quds as Israel's capital was declared null and void. On December 21, 2017 in New York City, the United States, photo by AFP Israel, however, rejected the world body's resolution while thanking Trump for his decision to move U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem al-Quds. Jerusalem al-Quds remains at the core of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, with Palestinians hoping that the eastern part of the city would eventually serve as the capital of a future independent Palestinian state. Hamas capable to strike Israel in less than an hour. Meanwhile, Hamas chief in the Gaza Strip, Yahya Sinwar, stressed that his resistance movement is fully prepared to deliver stinging blows to the Israeli military in any future military confrontation with the Tel Aviv regime. He called upon all Palestinians to help efforts aimed at reconciliation among leading Palestinian political factions, stressing that this primary objective must be achieved. Yahya Sinwar, CL leader of the Palestinian Hamas resistance movement in the Gaza Strip, speaks during a meeting with the heads of families in Gaza City on December 26, 2017 to discuss recent developments on the reconciliation talks, also attended by the movement's political bureau head Ismail Haniyeh. CR. Photo by AFP. Sinwar pointed out that Arab and Muslim countries, the international community and freedom-loving nations will not give in to the policy of arrogance anymore. He warned that the Palestinian issue will not receive international attention in case the issue of al-Quds falls out of the domain of current Middle East developments.